Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is James, and today I'm going to start a new little series. Just kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit, give you guys a chance to get to know me. Just want to go through a bit of a timeline of my life in golf. Know where I'm coming from in golf, where I am on this journey, and where I want to go. I'm going to start off by talking to you guys about my amateur golf career, and basically everything leading up to when I turned pro a couple years ago. Stick around, let's have some fun. Stopped at Costco. Let's start the storytelling. So I started playing golf when I was about 12 or 13 years old. Let's see, if I was 12 or 13, this would have been, right around 99. This is when Tiger Woods was really making his big appearance on the PGA Tour, making a lot of noise. That's really what drove me towards golf. I have Tiger to thank for that. I'd pleaded with my parents for a couple of years before I started playing to get me involved in the game. And it just wasn't in the cards right away when I showed interest. My next door neighbors were golfers. I found an old set of ladies' clubs in their garbage pile one day. Naturally, I took the clubs. And I'd take the 6-iron, there were a couple of old beat up golf balls in one of the pockets of the bag, and I'd just go over to the high school soccer field across the street from my house and just hit 6-irons from end to end for hours. Was it a desirable flight? No. Was my swing efficient? Far from it. But I was hooked. My dad ended up being invited to play in a scramble tournament by one of his clients. And this was my opportunity. So anyways, picked up the game. My parents got me a membership at the local club down the street. And I just went all in. I think I did manage to break 100 in my first season. And I think in my second year, I'd been consistently shooting in the mid-90s, and the first time I broke 90, I shot 80. And then 2 days after breaking 90 for the first time, I broke 80 by shooting a 78. And it literally all came down to confidence. I'd played around a couple of days before that with an older player who I had a lot of respect for. We only played 9 holes, and we sat down for a few minutes after the round, and he expressed to me that he thought it was only a matter of time before things started to click. That I I had a good swing, that my short game was reasonable, that I could putt, and that it was just a matter of time before I'd kind of tie it all together and start posting some better scores. That conversation was literally all that I needed to help me tie it all together. I just needed the confidence. Because this was really a turning point for me in golf. I consistently played in the mid to high 70s, couple rounds in the low 80s here or there after that, but I never played anywhere close to a round in the 90s ever since then. So I ended up getting down to a 3 handicap when I was about 16 years old, and that was the lowest I would get to as a junior player. Now, I didn't realize at the time, like I said, I don't come from a golfing family. I didn't really have anybody who could kind of coach me through, not the technical side of the game, but everything that happened around the game. So as an example, I realized later on in life that where I'd gotten to at around 16 years old, I would have been very close to being eligible to get a scholarship to go down to the States. Probably not Division I. Now, I don't think I was quite good enough, but had I known that that was really within my grasp, that it was an option, definitely something I would have worked towards. That being said, I have absolutely zero regrets. Had I gone down to the States on a scholarship, I wouldn't be having this lovely conversation with you guys in the aisles of Costco today. Alright, back in the car, myself a nice little cappuccino in there. I love coffee. Just so you know, I love coffee. I don't really drink, I don't do drugs, I recently quit smoking. This is the one thing I have left. Now, this definitely is not the greatest coffee they have out there, but it's cheap. And I'm a professional golfer trying to make a living on a development tour. It's tough to make a living on a development tour, just FYI. So, if I can get this for $2.30 and would cost me, $5 and change at a certain unnamed coffee shop chain, I'll save a buck or two wherever I can. Anyways, back to our story. I stopped playing golf around the age of 18 or 19, and it wasn't because I fell out of love for the game. It had nothing to do with that. It was just life. You know, I was finishing an education, I was starting a career. I didn't have the time or the money to get out onto the golf course, and I missed it. I definitely missed it, don't get me wrong. It wasn't until I was in my, mid-late 20s that all of a sudden I'm a little more established in my career, I have a little bit of more extra time, and I have a bit of money in my bank account. And I was in a situation where I was able to go out on weekends and do the whole weekend warrior thing. And I was pleasantly surprised that, almost immediately, without having put any practice in, I was going out and shooting rounds in the mid-70s. The same scores I've been putting up when I was a junior. And this really got me thinking, if I can do this without having put any work in, what could I achieve if I was to commit myself to this? I basically decided that I was going to leave my career in the broadcast industry and throw myself all in on golf. Now, let's bear in mind here, when I made the decision to leave the broadcast industry, I had never broken par for 18 holes. Call me crazy, I probably am a little bit crazy. I think all professional golfers are a little bit crazy, but that's just how firmly I believed in my abilities to succeed as a golfer. Having never broken par for 18 holes, I literally threw away 10 years of work into a career because I believed that I could achieve what I wanted. I had drafted up my resignation letter, and out of nowhere, I get an email from one of my bosses in the States saying that they need me to come down to the head office the following week, and I decided to hold on to that letter. Anyway, so I go down to the States, and sure enough, they had decided that they were closing the Canadian office. Because they were closing the office, I was entitled to a severance package. So this severance package allowed me to play golf that entire summer. So had I jumped the gun and sent in my resignation, I would have lost that opportunity. I don't think anybody has ever been so happy to have been let go from a job. It was really absolutely a blessing. So, summer of 2015, I'd rejoined Whitlock Golf and Country Club. It was a bit of a trial year for me. I wanted to see just how good I could get, as well as getting back into doing some tournament stuff to see how I fared mentally compared to the last time I competed as a teenager. All in all, it was a really good year. I think I got down to a +4. I wasn't consistently breaking par. I could go low on a good day, but my bad days were, bad. Played a few tournaments within the club, tried out for our intersectional team, and I think I played in the 3 spot for our club that year. The intersectionals themselves were not great for me. I was amazing off the tee. I was okay on and around the greens. My iron play that day was just shockingly bad. I think I hit 4 greens in regulation. As all that being said, I still managed to push 2 of my matches to the 18th hole, but didn't walk away with any points. Good experience. I took a lot out of that, as I definitely did not have my best stuff that day, but I battled, and I never gave up. I ended up winning the club championship at the end of the year. It didn't exactly go as planned. I had a 1-shot lead going into the final round, and going into the back 9, I was 4 shots behind. Put the rally cap on and ended up making a 15-foot downhill left to right putt on the 18th hole to secure the victory and win by 2. Now this was important for me. I'd kind of told myself before the tournament that if you want to continue pushing with golf, you have no choice, you have to win this tournament. If you can't compete against these other players at the club and pull out the victory, then I really would have had to have reconsidered everything I was working towards. But I pulled it off, and this kind of set the stage for everything else to come. I'd made the most of that summer. The quote-unquote trial year had been a success. I was playing the best golf that I had ever played, and I was able to learn that I could now handle the pressure of competitive golf, unlike when I was a teenager. Alright guys, we're gonna have to take a little time out here. Seems like when I made the plan for this video, I must have severely underestimated how much there really was to talk about in my amateur career. I've been busy editing this video, and as hard as I'm trying, I just cannot cut it down to a reasonable length without cutting out critical information. So I've had to make the executive decision of splitting this video into 2 parts. Stick around for part 2. This is where things start to get really interesting. Now, before I sign off on this part, I just want to have a little chat to you, the viewers. I've been looking through the YouTube analytics, and something that I found that really stood out to me was that 72% of the watch time on my channel is coming from people who are not subscribed. Now, this isn't just views, this isn't clicks. This is people who are actually coming to the channel and watching the videos, which means that there has to be some kind of interest if you are watching the videos. Now guys, I'm new to this, and I know the channel isn't big at this point, but we're gonna get there. I think right now I'm sitting at 45 subscribers, so I'm gonna set us a little mini goal right now. If what I'm saying resonates with you, if you have been coming to the channel and watching the videos, and it is something that you find engaging and it's interesting to you, please do me a solid, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 50. Let's just get to 50. It's a small goal, very achievable. Once we hit that 50 mark, I'll set us a new goal. But right now, let's just start small, let's get to 50, let's build some momentum, and let's get this channel going. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm really enjoying making these videos for you guys. I'm really hoping it's something that I can continue to do for a long time. Please click the like button down below, leave me comments, let me know what you think. As I mentioned, stay tuned for part 2. That's all for today. I'm going to go finish editing this video so that I can get it uploaded and online for you guys as soon as possible, and I will catch up with you very soon. Cheers, guys.